So, Ruby Dooby Doo, how are you? Happy birthday to you. I don't know anyone who deserves it better and who would deserve it more. They asked me to do this thing for you, and even though it was kind of tough, you know what I mean? For as long as I've known you, my goodness gracious, you bag of bones, it's been really a pleasure. All in all, it's been a magnificent pleasure as you have been to everyone that you've known and to everyone that knows you. I'm hoping that they edit this because, as you know, I tend to be long winded. But I wanted to go back and talk about a couple of things that I am privy to that most people are not. For example, that the first time we met, I guess we were both kids, and over at my cousin's house in Silver City. And I remember you being a terrific right fielder who could hit, but you couldn't field worth a lick. But you were a pretty good hitter, even though you were a girl. Well, you didn't look much like a girl uh, until later, which I'm really glad that you did, because you did change a lot. Listen, um, I have to remember and recall that, of course, we went on to meet over at my mother's birthday, which was quite a surprise. And I remember you're becoming an instant classic in terms of friends with my mom, and she was a traitor, but that was okay because you both had a special bond, and of course that meant a lot to me. I remember during our courtship, if we want to call it that, I remember when we used to take the subways to take you home to Brooklyn because I lived in the Bronx, and there was either a ghost lady or a ghost man that was always there whenever we went up. It didn't matter what time of night we went up there, that person was standing there at the subway. I don't know if you remember, but it was kind of weird. Um, and then, of course, I remember going to a wedding to you, and I don't remember who it was, but I remember saying to you at the time so very proudly, "I'll never get married. Nah, at least not till I'm about 40." And you must have chuckled about all that because about 8 months later, you and I were married. But anyway, um, that's for all the history buffs who don't know how these things go. I remember our friends at the time, Bobby and Joyce, wonder what they're doing these days. Um, I hope that they're well, and I remember you used to hang out with us, and we had all those parties with Rennie and Joe and the two Lionels and Fernando and Sylvia over at 844 Trinity Avenue. And then I remember all the roughhousing we used to do. I remember our becoming parents for the first time when Errol was born, and that was really tremendous. But if I keep up at this pace, it's going to take me all day to finish this particular um, video to you, this homage to you, you great lady. Um, I remember a lot of things from those days. I remember, College Avenue. I remember Sheila's coming along and not liking me very much because she was pretty much a mama's girl. I remember she made it difficult for us to continue our bowling that we used to have on Fridays because she didn't want to stay with anybody except you. And that's okay. The reason my daughter and I have such a special relationship today is because she didn't come to like me till she was about 3. So she just had to put up with me for 3 years less than anybody else. Um, and then, of course, as I said, I remember Alicia and Lemon, and of course, Lemon's tragic passing. I remember you and the kids coming out to watch us play baseball out at the Taft High School grounds, and then I remember our getting ready for St. Owen Street. I remember the big move there. I remember how excited you were going through all of that. I remember how solid you were when we moved in, and a few days later, it seemed Ma had her heart attack, and we were all thrown into a big tizzy. I know you remember Kevin Cradell, who came along and was very, very, very terrific to us at that time. Uh, many of you may not, many of the people looking at this right now may not know. I know you remember the extreme family makeover, or with the additions of, Chris and Linda and Charles and Gwen and Sabrina. Uh, I know you remember your on again, off again wars with Tia. Um, and I know that you will remember in particular a name that to anybody else in this family, they wouldn't recognize it at all. But you and I do, and it kind of shows you how old we are, right? And all the things that have gone on. But that name is Mr. Lafata. Only you and I would know what that is. Um, we also know the inside jokes in the family, like Papa Barry, and of course a name that only you would remember again today, Dayton, because everybody else that remember Dayton would be either gone or forgotten. And of course, the special relationship we all had with Papa Charles. I know that you remember the deli, the special relationship you had with Libby. And I remember you and I laughing about Libby complaining about Errol and Sheila going down in the basement and catching her and Eddie with their little kisses and stuff like that. But we had a lot of fun with that. I remember you're going to PS 16, which was a new era for you and a great thing for Errol and Sheila because you were not too far away and I remember that was a long way from your days as a ticket girl over at Eagle Manufacturing out in or Eagle Electric Manufacturing out in Long Island City. Um, I also remember, and everyone here listening, and Sheila, I'm sorry, I can't break this down any more. I can't cut it anymore. Um, I remember, I know that everyone who knows you knows that you're a fantastic cook. They know that you're also an exceptional baker. And did someone say pineapple upside down cake or lemon meringue pie? Yeah, that's a ticket. You were very, very, very good at that. I know that you were such a tremendous comfort to Ma uh, for all those years that you spent with her. That was just so indicative of the kind of person that you've been, all the people that you've touched. Um, I know that you were so unassuming and so very down to earth and also very, very practical. I'm going to mention another word here. I know you remember Crunch, and I know that Errol and Sheila remember Crunch also. Um, I know you remember your first trip to Panama, our first trip to Panama, and my meeting Mr. Ivanhoe for the first time. That was really something very very interesting, and knowing that he was quite a guy. I also remember your grandmother who did not like it whenever we blocked the game on her. And I say these things because you're going to be laughing when you remember all of these things, but everyone else is going to be looking at you like you're nuts. But we're the only two old farts that still remember all of this stuff. And then, I remember uh, all of these wonderful things that you've been there for everyone in this family and outside of this family. You've been just absolutely great at all of these things. And if you ever look back across the entire chasm of your life and say to yourself, well, what was I here from? What was I here for? Why did God put me here? Why did He have me help all of these people? it is perhaps because you knew that you could do it, that you could touch all of these different lives and make people so very, very joyful just by your presence. There are very few people that I have known as long as you, because as you know, when people start to get to our age, they just crap out on us and they leave, right? But I don't know many people like you, but I don't know anyone better than you. Some may be equal to you, but there is none better. You've been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being. To me, you were a wonderful wife. Not so sure I was a great husband to you, but then that's a different story. We've had some magnificent children. You've been very accommodating for all of the others that I've had. And you've also been very, very understanding and a source of love for them as well. So, this is only indicative of the kind of person that you are, the very special person that you are. I'm not even going to mention Joycey or all of the other folks that would definitely be raising a toast to you at this time if they had the chance. But I have the chance. And unfortunately, I've gone like 4 times over what Sheila told me it should be. So I'm going to have to depend on her to chop the living hell out of this particular tape. All I can say is, Flaka, you have been a marvelous, marvelous human being, a pleasure for everyone to know, but a very, very, very special person to me. God bless you. May He grant you long, long life so that your great grandchildren that are running around now may have their grandchildren and have you to look forward to and to talk to and remember. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And again, God bless you, Flaka.